All right, so this is a quick video on trading large zones. So a lot of times when you're looking for supply and demand zones, you come across these large zones that are harder to trade, especially as a day trader, right? If you're trading a zone like this, daily demand zone here, you see the zone starts at 49.21 or so and goes all the way down here to 48.97. That's over 20 points. As a day trader, you can't really place your risk to reward trading a large zone like that, right? So when I'm looking for zones, first off, I start at a higher time frame, generally daily, and I work my way down. So in particular, when I find a quality zone such as this daily demand, the reason I say it's quality, you have a rally, a small body basing candle here, and then a strong full body green candle after. So that's your rally, base, rally. The strong green candle here telling me, okay, cool, this is a quality zone. There's obviously some interest here, right? But now the dilemma comes, how do you trade this zone, right? So what I do is I work down to smaller time frames. So you can see right here, these are the time frames I use. 690, you could ignore that one, but generally down from 4 to 1 hour, 90, 45, and 30. And I'll find some at 15 too, but let's just focus on the other ones for now. So I'll start a daily, like I said. We'll go down to a 4 hour zone and we see, okay, cool. We have some 4 hour demand right here, but I'm not crazy about that. We could still work down lower. We do have 4 hour demand here too. This might be an even better area of interest. And just from key levels, I know that 49.10 ish has been a key level kind of to focus on. You could even see here how we reacted around this spot. But I'll just mark that for now. Not drawing demand there yet, but just noting that one. Let's go to 3 hour. Okay. So now we have 3 hour where you see we have demand inside demand here, right? So this area is definitely going to be an area of interest going forward, especially with FOMC being tomorrow. So I might note this 3 hour demand zone here just for me personally, because I know that 49.20 has been a pretty focal area going forward. You see how we peaked over here, rejected back under, peaked, rejected, failed breakout over here, and then we finally broke out of this zone. Look how strong the move was. So I'll consider that 49.20. Not going to mark it yet, but we're going to go to next. Let's see, 2 hour. 2 hour, same thing, right? You see the same zone right here. This is where a lot of consolidation happened on Monday before that breakout, right in the 49.20, and then boom, a large breakout. So I'm really liking between 3 hour and 2 hour. You can see how we have a large zone here, right? But we're finding a real point of contention where there was some serious interest from buyers, where there was some a balance period, I guess, here. And then buyers were able to drive price higher out of the zone and give us that rally, base, rally, strong green candle here, right? So let's do this. I'll mark this as a 3 hour zone right now. And we could even say here, let's see, 2 hour. I think this 2 hour is clean right here too. Or let's see, we got on 1 hour. Oh, 1 hour. Yeah, you can see like this 49.20 area here, still 49.22 or so. So again, this is where it gets a little tricky because you want to see also too that there was a bounce out of that area. The market came back and bounced there maybe, or let's see. Yeah, you can see how we consolidated out of that 49.22-ish area. So let's go back to 2 hour, and I'll go with the 3 hour zone actually we marked first. Actually, nah, sorry. Let's go with 2 hour here. I'll mark this 2 hour zone right here. So that's one way I find demand within demand, right? So I know it kind of got a little sidetracked there, but you see, okay, cool. We had a large zone, right? We had that large daily zone, and we just worked our way down and found a cleaner zone within that zone, right? So now we have this zone here. We have a 2 hour zone right here. So now from having a over 20 point zone, we have a zone that's 9 points or so, which is a lot easier to trade than a 20 over 20 point zone, right? And if you want to get more granular, you can really work down. You go 90, you can go 45. You see 45 is even more defined here. You can use one of those, and you can do 30. So those are the zones I would focus on. You have a little consolidation up here too. So one way I combat that is if I feel like there's zones stacked on top of zones, I'll align some key levels with that as well too, right? So let's go back to 4 hour and we see, okay, the bottom of this zone here is clearly a zone of interest, right? This is the daily zone. We had a bottom here. That's a key level here, we could say, or even down here. We know this area is an area of interest, some previous support here. actually previous resistance, turn support, or you could treat this as a zone too. 4 hour looks a little nicer here, actually. Yeah, it looks like a little 4 hour zone right here, so we can mark that potentially. Um, Again, I know I'm kind of covering a few different ways to handle it. It's really how you feel best, right? I'd say everyone has to have their own system. There isn't one right way or one wrong way for supply and demand, but you have to find what works best for you. So for me, I like to try different things out, incorporate key levels in it. And the main point is, right, you want to find an area of contention where there was interest from buyers. In this instance, buyers who are talking about demand, right? So you see the top of this zone here, we flagged and broke out. So this is an important zone here. And then this zone too, I would say, we bounced, came a little above it, but then moved up. So I'd say a combination of combining key levels with your zones is great, especially if you're trading on a larger zone. But my main point for this video was that don't just chart a 20-point zone and try to trade out of that, because if we kept that 20-point zone we had, right, the daily time frame zone, and try to trade that, let's go back to it. Sure, on a daily it looks nice. It looks nice and clean. But say intraday comes up and you're trading on your 5 minute chart, like that's a huge zone. Where's your stop at? You're gonna place your stop at 4,900. So if it goes against you, it means you're already gonna be down 20 points. Sorry about that. If this goes into the zone, look how big this zone is on smaller time frames. So yeah, just wanted to post a video on how to trade large zones. Hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if you have any feedback. Thanks.